I was 26, turning 27 when I first got symptoms of LHON. It actually started in my left eye first. And that was like in October. I think it was 2012. And then March, it actually moved to my right eye. And that was 2013.
Labor hereditary optic neuropathy is an inherited condition that affects the optic nerve. The optic nerve is like a cable that takes the image from your eye to the visual cortex in the brain for processing. The optic nerve is about the diameter of a piece of spaghetti. In labors, the fibers of the optic nerve become sick and they're no longer able to transfer the signal to the brain. The symptoms of labors usually begin with painless blurry vision in one eye that quickly progresses over days to weeks to severe central vision loss, typically followed within weeks to months by vision loss in the second eye. While central vision is severely affected, peripheral vision or side vision is typically spared.
I knew that LHON was in our family, but when my brother was diagnosed, and he was diagnosed at age 8, we had no idea what LHON was. 20 years ago, LHON was just a disease that caused blindness, and I didn't know. I knew that I was a carrier, but I actually didn't know what that meant, because when you're told about this when you're 10, 11, 12, being a carrier doesn't really mean much to you. And so when I started to get symptoms in my left eye, I actually went to my normal eye doctor. So then he referred me to a retina specialist. So we're sitting there, and after like the third time of them trying to inject something in me for them to be able to see my retina a little bit better, my mom said, well, we have this disease in our family called LHON, and this guy who was actually a fellow turned to us and said, oh, that's what she has. And we're like, what? He's like, she has LHON. And we're like, well, why do you say that? Thought I could only be a carrier. And he goes, oh no, I've seen women get it. And at that point, we were just floored. Like I never wrapped my head around the fact that I could get LHON. And never really knew actually what LHON meant. So it was just shocking after all of those tests to know that I have a genetic eye disease. We're driving back and I just start crying because I felt like I was like diagnosed with cancer. Like I felt like at that point, like it was over. And I was just like, I think I would have rather have had cancer, because then you have like a treatment and there's like steps you can do to actually try to have like a chance. And I was just devastated. I just was so upset.
One thing that this threw a curveball at me and my wife on this is there's no preparation on this that, they never taught this in Dad 101 that something like this would happen to one of your kids, let alone both, but very compelling. Had some dark days at the beginning, I can openly admit. Something like this, when you find out that one of your children is going to go partially blind, it's quite a shocking news to the family. Something that God doesn't prepare you for as a parent, to get news like this.
So there are definitely some hard times when I had first lost vision. Like a lot of my friends that I had at the time really didn't know what to do with me, so they wouldn't call or they wouldn't check in on me, which is kind of what I had wished for. I kind of ended up hibernating a little bit, knowing that it was just easier for me to stay in my own little box with my family versus like getting out and exploring. So my friends kind of stopped calling. They didn't really know like what they thought I needed. So I ended up just kind of hanging out at home. There's a couple things that are still hard now, 3 years later, from losing vision that make life just a little bit different. So I don't have a car to like all of a sudden decide that you want to jump into your car and run a Target. Doesn't really happen for me anymore. The whole spontaneous, you just are gonna pop over and go visit a friend, doesn't happen. Everything's so planned. I plan everything the night before with a cab company to know where I'm going to be. It really just sucks that I just don't have that like luxury or freedom anymore to be able to just pop over to anywhere I want. Everything has to be programmed, everything has to be dialed, everything has to be on a timetable. So I feel like I'm kind of cocooned in this little East Valley where it's hard for me to go to Phoenix, downtown Phoenix. It's hard for me to go to certain spots. It does make it hard to meet up with friends, or so people kind of just lose understanding. There was definitely some times, like the first 6 months, I had some time of like adjustment. So one thing that I was surprised about that I could still do was cook. There are so many tools that actually help those that are blind or vision impaired still cook. Not to mention, I mean, of course, I've kind of obviously cut off a little bit of fingernail every so often, but I mean, why not? But it's all learning. And I think with cooking, even with people that are sighted, they throw a couple things in, see if it works, and if it doesn't work, they do something different next time, and that's what I do for cooking now. There's a lot of things that you can still, like adjustments you can make. You can do Zoom on your iPhone, so still on Facebook and online shopping, or still applying for jobs, you know, like there's still everything that I do now, it's just a little differently, like running. That's actually something I ran before I lost vision, but like for fun and just kind of run around. But now it's my love. And now I love to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go running 6 miles and to see how many miles I can run before I get in a work day at 7. You know, so it's just, I would say that's changed. And I just found like new loves. Everyone has something. And when I was presented with vision loss, I knew I had to find an outlet, something that I could redirect my passion to and find something that totally made me happy, and it was running. So with the support of all my guide runners and so many great people around me really pushed me to keep striving to set new goals. So my goals were no longer trying to figure out getting past vision loss, it was trying to make myself faster and finding my new love for running. It's really hard to put into words when something makes you so happy. When I'm running, I am the happiest girl in the world. It's totally my happy place. And it's crazy how life hands you a lot of things, a lot of different challenges. But it's awesome that you know that you have like one thing that you absolutely love, and the people that surround you in your hobby and in your happy place is running. And when I'm with either running group, Achilles or East Valley Runners, these people are so supportive and love, and we share the same passion for running. So it's just, no matter what happens, and no matter what happens with me throughout the day, whether it's a hard day at work or a bad day of vision, I know that I always have running. And whether I'm running without a tether that day because my vision's a little bit better and it's a brighter day, or if it is 4 o'clock in the morning and it's totally dark and there's cactus on each side, I know I can tether. So I know that I always have running, and that it really just puts so many great things in perspective for me. I'm just really thankful that vision loss is just vision loss. You don't need your eyes to run, you know? I know that I'm actually really lucky to only have vision loss. And I'm lucky that I can still go out and do things that I love to do. And I'm inspired by other people that are visually impaired and run as well. I mean, there's so many people that are ultras. Those people that are training for the Olympics right now. Those people are so inspiring to me to just keep striving myself to push a little bit farther. To hear the different stories, and you know, it's all something that we can relate to. The times when we were injured and we were run walking, the times that we were injured and we were so annoyed we couldn't run, the times when we were like talking about whether we should tether or not, or the times when our guides are like, oh my god, I totally forgot you're blind, and we run into a tree, you know. And it's hilarious because we all can kind of relate, and sighted or not, you can relate to everyone that's a runner because we all have kind of a common bond. And I'm not really seen as the blind runner when I'm with my running friends, because I'm just one of their running friends. That's what's your pace sort of thing. Running, I mean, I'm running 4 times a week, and you can tell if I'm running that day because I am just bouncing off the walls. I'm so energetic that day, and you know that is definitely my happy place. It's been so much fun. And you know, there's so many doors that actually have been opened for me, and so much opportunity with running as a blind runner than you could ever believe. It's weird. People say things happen for a reason, and you would never think that like losing vision would be this awesome opportunity, and I never think I would say that. But I've had so many cool opportunities to be part of different races, and the various support that I've been given, it's been incredible. So it's been a fun 2 years to be able to go from just starting out and having like 1 or 2 5Ks to I'll be running my 4th half marathon this weekend, and one full marathon. So I just keep adding them as I go.
I think people look up to Jessica because she's so positive, energetic, and has a very outgoing personality. She doesn't let things get her down, and she looks at the positive in everything, and she sky's the limit. You know, things, you can overcome things, anything. And I think that's the way she gives the outlook to everyone. Since she's been running, she's even stronger and happier than she's been in a very long time. So, but with this LHON, in some ways, she's met a lot of new people, and that energize her. She energizes them, and with her positive outlook, it gives them hope. And I don't know, she's just an amazing young lady, and sky's the limit, as I said before.